experience lead into him. You see the size difference immediately. Obviously, Джалолов, the taller southpaw in the red. Maybe that size can work against him with Kункабаев, who certainly carries a bit of a thwack, so do both of them. So looking forward to this one.
I saw a huge Uzbek southpaw super heavyweight at the World Youths as well, Jakongir Zokirov. So there must be some kind of formula for growing them back in Uzbekistan, and he looks impressive, just 17 years old. And he's quite simple the way he goes about things, isn't he, Джалолов? He looks for that 1-2 and he lands it with good effect, and so often his opponent, I think, feels that he's too far out to land it, but with that reach and that extension he gets it somehow gets there.
Yeah, he's got pretty good feet also for a big man, I think it's fair to say as well. He's just moving round the centre circle, if you like, and he's just looking there. Watch the right hand, he's just kind of waving that distractedly, almost as if he's going to counter with a right hook. And he's playing the difficulties that Kункабаев faces, trying to get inside and underneath and then explode if he can. He's getting there, not easy. He did there with the left hand, Andy, but he only did it because Джалолов missed initially.
Both of these two with their feet planted fairly wide. You look at Джалолов there, and the space between that lead foot, that back foot, trying to snap that jab and send the left hand in after it.
Oh, that's a terrific shot. That was beautiful boxing there from Джалолов, getting on the front foot, trying to not just intimidate, but ask a question of Kункабаев, get him to lead off himself, and he did that, and then he smacked him with a counter shot, and he did it really eye-catchingly. And has that left eye swelled up immediately. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, it might just be, no, it's okay, just a little nick. I thought there was a swelling there, but it was a huge shot landed by Джалолов there, the best of the fight so far.
He's just making Kункабаев fall short, isn't he, every now and again, and then clipping him with that left hand.
Oh, he's going to counter referee. I mean, there was a shot landed there from Джалолов, and then he, almost as Kункабаев sort of crouched down, whether it was the effect of the shot or what, not quite sure. Maybe the replays will clear that up, but it did look as though then there was a push from Джалолов just to send him over on his way. Either way, Andy, he was just starting to pick him off, and you can see, yeah, that eye is a bit worse than it first looked on inspection. There's a little mark on his chin as well. He's been picked off with a couple of big shots there, Kункабаев, right towards the end of that round.
Ominous signs for him, really, as you say, towards the conclusion of the round. And that little cut, maybe slightly in the corner of the eye, maybe even on the eyelid, that can be very, very uncomfortable.
There you can see, make a miss. That's the one of the things in boxing that is too easy to forget, that the first point of it should be making them miss, and then the second making them pay. There's much more concentration on defence, and we saw quite a bit of it. Did you get to see the stumble, the knockdown at the end there? Difficult to see with Jalolov's big frame very much in the way of the camera, but it looked as though there might have been something of a push.
It did look more like a push. It did look more like a push, as we outlined earlier on. The fact that it was called won't necessarily do any damage there to Kункабаев. That would be extremely bad news in a pro ring, because that would result in a 10-8 round without any question. But that's not the way that the scoring is done in AIBA boxing. It is a better system in my view, in many ways. Just dipping in with that front foot there, Джалолов, that's what he tries to do, doesn't he? He tries to draw something from Kункабаев, whoever he's fighting, make them fall short and then punish them. And when you've got that wide stance, when you've got those feet planted wide, your front foot can be right on top of your opponent, but then you can pull the weight all the way onto the back foot, and it provides this illusion that you're within range because of where your front foot is, but in effect you're actually not.
Well, you can see the problems that the size and stature and technique, range and the footwork significantly of Джалолов, the problems that it presents for any kind of fighter around this weight. And there again, for a big guy, the head movement and the foot movement there to make Kункабаев miss. And Kункабаев is now swiping and lunging into attacks, and an element of frustration creeping in, and you can understand why. He's been hurt in the first round, and he's been made to miss in the second.
Being made to miss is, well, it's twofold, isn't it, really? It's slightly demoralising, of course, but also it's physically draining, punching thin air. Any fighter will tell you that missing can really run that battery down.
Still trying though, and there that sort of long left hand, he fired from below the waist up and round. It seemed to travel a long way. He did manage to make it connect though, Kункабаев. That's a rare little bit of success. It's great credit to him that he is giving it absolutely everything, and well he should and might. A little bit more success, tiny bit of success, glimmer of hope maybe for Kункабаев at the end of the round.
Well, he's hanging in there, isn't he? Just sucking the air in between rounds there. You'd see that little bit of damage on the left eye. That'll be very sore, a bit of marking up around the chin and just by that left nostril too, whereas on the other hand Джалолов is fresh. He's a very, very difficult man to box against because he just does the basics very well, doesn't he? And he's got that sheer physical size, which if you've got that at super heavyweight, of course, it's an advantage. Kункабаев isn't a particularly big super heavyweight, certainly not by comparison to Джалолов. And he really had to step in and almost reach with that to get it there, really commit to it.
Into the third and final round of the night, and what's been a terrific night's entertainment in boxing. Hopefully you've enjoyed so far. 3 more minutes to go. Can Kункабаев unsettle Джалолов? Can he get close to let his hands go? Warning for Джалолов about punching around the back of the head in the clinch. Again there he's making Kункабаев miss with the left hand. Just constant tilt of the shoulders one way or t'other, just slight movement of the head from Джалолов. All the while the feet are circling too as he lets the left hand go.
Really stepped into that left hand too. Maybe the balance just deserted him a bit, so he followed it onto the shoulder, but it just gives you an idea, because we were kind of side onto that, of just how far out he can be and still look for that left hand.
Tell you what, he walked onto a very short left though from Kункабаев. Those are the moments. So if he misses, these are the times when he might just be vulnerable. Kункабаев still trying to find a way. Maybe the pace is dropping. You know, I think it's fair to say. big guys, particularly Джалолов, and maybe just slowing down a little. Another left hand getting in there from Kункабаев. He's got that punch off slightly better in this final round.
Things have improved for him, really, since that opening round. That was a bit of a damaging one for him, that first 3 minutes. And I think I said at the end of that round that there were ominous signs, but he's shown his grit since then, and no little skill to lessen that gap between these two.
Yeah, Jalalov's been quieter, hasn't he? In the last sort of 3-4 minutes or so.
Couldn't quite time Kункабаев that time around. Lead right hand there though from Джалолов, and as you said, the pace has dropped towards the end of the third and final round. Kункабаев just caught by the left hand again there as he careered forward, somewhat out of control.
Well, Джалолов looked like he might be in total control after the first round. And the gap between them closed literally in every way through the second and the third. Джалолов was a little bit quieter.
He's confident there though, isn't he? I think maybe towards the end of that round he didn't really feel the need to put his foot to the floor because he felt that he had the fight won. I mean, that's always pretty dangerous, isn't it, if that was the case? But he didn't show that much urgency towards the end of the round there, Джалолов, when he did look like he might have a bit left in the tank.
Only one silver medal, otherwise it's been gold tonight for the Uzbek team. Are they going to grab another one, or Kazakhstan going to get on the board?
The winner by unanimous decision in the red corner representing Uzbekistan.